The impressive design and features of our local stadiums are often inspired by the development of high-tech sports arenas elsewhere in the world. Now just take a look at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in the US.
The Atlanta Falcons set out to create a completely new engagement model for their fans, and they looked for a partner who could, from a technology perspective, drive the engagement end to end. In terms of our involvement, we were involved from the very first day. So from the time the first mound of dirt was turned, we were there and basically infused the technology into the construction of the stadium.
How much of an advantage is that being there from the very beginning?
Well, it enables you to really customise what it is we're trying to meet by way of an outcome for the stadium. It's a situation where if you infuse the technology, you're not having to go back and make modifications to the stadium once it's actually been constructed and built. So enormously advantageous and absolutely crucial.
And I read somewhere that the IT of this stadium is just as integral as the concrete, as the steel.
Yeah, look, we've got over 7,000 kilometres of fibre optic cable running through that stadium, connecting every device. That's actually larger than the implementation of the broadband network here in Australia at the moment in some of our small to medium-sized cities, so quite extensive.
So what are some of the challenges that come with working on one of the most technologically advanced stadiums now in the world?
There was a lot of things that we implemented from a technology perspective into that stadium where it was the first time we had done it. It was the first time a lot of the construction contractors had done it. They were very nervous when they opened that roof for the first time, because if one panel failed, the whole roof would fail. From a technology perspective, our real test came at the Super Bowl last year, where 71,000 people, over 70% of the fans in the stadium actually connected to the Wi-Fi. There wasn't a single dropout, there wasn't a single black spot. So we were quite nervous leading into that and a little bit nervous about how the network would stand up, and it stood up really well.
Talk to me about that, because that is one of the biggest sporting events in the world. How are the nerves? How do you handle that? Because you don't know until that stadium is packed.
That's the only way to test it, unfortunately. So we did a lot of testing, a lot of load testing on the network, on the infrastructure, on the technology. You don't actually really test it until the fans get in there and start engaging with the stadium through the mobile app, through the network. So look, we were quite nervous, but there was a level of confidence around what we were doing. But that was the ultimate test, once the fans actually got in there and started engaging.
Without risk, there is no reward.
Exactly.
Talk to me about some of this fan engagement. What is available? I've seen the app, it looks fantastic. Talk to us about that.
So look, the challenge for the stadiums, Julie, is to get the fans there. There's nothing like the game day experience. But there's a lot of challenges for the fans in achieving the atmosphere of being at the game. So our technology is built around taking the challenges out of that stadium experience and the atmosphere that comes with that. And it all starts before the fan actually gets to the stadium. So the stadium's actually connected to the fan in the case of Mercedes-Benz. The app is engaging with the fan before they leave home. It's finding out how they're getting there. If it's public transport, it's guiding them on which buses, which trains to catch, what times. The public transport system will enable them to get to the game. If you're driving there, it's helping you get there. It's giving you traffic reports. Parking's a big problem and often a big deterrent to going to the games. You can actually book your parking spot and have the app take you to that very parking spot which will be waiting for you. And then from there it's about food and beverage and being able to order your food and beverages online through the app, have it delivered to your seat in some cases, or pre-order it before you actually go to the food and beverage stand and be able to pick it up as soon as you receive it.
Well, that's the thing. Without the fans, at the end of the day, we don't have the industry, do we?
Yeah, we talk about the atmosphere of being at the game. That's all driven by the fans being there. And the fans being there also drives sponsorship. There's a lot of organisations who want their brand associated with the stadium, but those brands would like the stadium to be full, obviously. So it is about driving fans to the stadium, but giving them an experience that you can't actually get anywhere else.
Have you heard what fans have thought on the ground there, if there's been any feedback?
The good thing about Mercedes-Benz Stadium is the fans are part of the event. They actually provide a lot of the content that goes up onto the halo boards. So a lot of the fans provide their feedback through social media platforms, and a lot of that actually appears on the halo board that surrounds the stadium. Very, very positive experience, and definitely meeting the outcomes that they set out to achieve.